Steve, 4-2, Japan. My goodness, I'm not the only one with no fingernails, buddy. How you feeling?
Yeah, how am I feeling? I'm feeling like we really, let that one get through the fingers. That we really lost, an opportunity there that we should have won. That team is a good team, but we're a good team. We're actually a better team. So I'm a bit disappointed that we actually didn't, get the win. It was a game. It's just definitely a game that we just should have won. The end result didn't go our way, but from that, there's a lot of learning to be taken, from this, and that's from the players and from the coaches included.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I know you're very into your strategies, and what were the things you were focusing on walking onto the floor today?
Yeah, the plan was really, to increase our number of opportunities, because we're creating some, we've been creating some good things. We've been working on some set plays and some moves and some, and then some, taking the chances when they come and when we create them. And we say, we just need to do more of that. We need to back ourselves, we need to believe that we can win games. And it's something we've struggled a little bit with. So we want to really increase that.
Why do you think that, Steve? Sorry to cut you off, but I mean, you're highlighting that right now. So what do you think might be the reason for that?
Mate, I think it's a number of things, I think we've got a bit of a history of, not winning some games that we should have. And then when we get the opportunity to win those games, we sort of maybe come back into ourselves a little bit. So, I'm asking the guys to be brave, brave to want to take the game on and win it, and not to be scared to lose it. And I think there's a bit of history in saying that, we as a nation have not, I'm saying recent history of not being able to sort of close out the games when we should have. And so there's nerves around that. The other part is, I think part of it comes from me. I put a lot of pressure on the guys in the preparation to getting ready for these competitions. And it's reinforce. And I have very high expectations. Sometimes I've got to consider, even from my side and the coaching side, that maybe there's just, some of that added pressure is good for some. They really respond well, and maybe some are not as good at, as dealing with that, maybe.
Is that maybe also, pressure coming from your coach at this level of sport? Surely that's part of the game, is that maybe due to, again, not lack of talent, but lack of experience at this platform?
Maybe, yeah. You're right, if we want to be a great nation in this sport, we're going to have to be able to handle the pressure. I'm very conscious about how I, shape the team and how we prepare for the game. And I can tell you it's a very relaxed environment, very focused, but relaxed environment, Always got the music going, a lot of good chatter going, a lot of fun happening and whatnot. So I always feel like they're in a really good space. But obviously there's a few things going on in some people's heads, that you can't see. And as a result, some of the things that happened tonight, that's probably come because of that pressure, a bit of, their own pressure that they've created.
We had some nice surprises tonight, though. Lyles had a goal.
Yeah, great. Good on him, He actually, that's the best game he's played. He's one of those players that's new to the team, and he just needs, more floor time. He's one of those sort of players, he's not in the starting four at the moment. He sort of, comes off the bench, and it can be tough coming off the bench. You're not ready to go. The pace is at a certain, level and whatnot. So I keep telling him, when he gets his opportunity, he's got to grind it out. He's got to get into the game quickly. He's got to be prepared. As soon as he scored that goal, I was like, I asked him, mate, you've been bitten by a bee, up and about. He was flying around and he's moving the ball well. So it comes with confidence, Play comes with confidence, and confidence, comes from, working hard and you score a goal. It's a nice feeling.
And then Jason's goal, of course, coming in a bit later.
Yeah, Jace played really well, He, again, he sort of, he's a small guy with a small tank, so he runs out of path, a bit quicker than some of the other guys. But in saying that, he had a really, really good game. He really tried hard. I really wanted him to take the game on. I said, mate, this is, this type of game that you need to, and he did, in saying that the guys, by the time we got to the end of it, were just absolutely, knackered. They just worked so hard. And when you're chasing goals, and the floor size is something, it's probably a third bigger than what we're used to.
Oh, really?
So that's really come into play. Yeah, we typically train on the venue because that's what we can get access to in Dandenong. But, if you look at where we're playing, it's an extra, 3 metres longer, an extra metre or two wider, and, just the space that you need to cover is something that maybe the boys aren't conditioned as well to as what we should be, It's a bit unfortunate, but we've got to find ways to train better. That's not on the sport, it's on us.
Sure.
We've got to find ways to make sure that we deal with that.
Let's talk about some of the instances that happened out there. I mean, the first half, we know there was 2 blues and a red out there.
Yeah.
So, and then,
In the first half.
Yeah. Yes. So let's just go over that. I know we don't want to harp on it too much, but, it's got to be said.
No, it's an important point. It's something that, this is probably where my head's at right now is, in the first half we had 2 blue cards and the red, and I think that was by about the 12, 15 minute mark.
It was very early on, yeah.
So we had to play 8 minutes with 3 players. We trained for those situations, but I didn't expect that I'm going to play half of the first half with only 3 players. So the good news is, what we trained and how we wanted to try to keep the defence structured and also be able to hold the ball and not concede goals, was very effective. The guys did really, really well. But it really affects the game, in the way that you go about it, because, when you're losing a good player or you're losing you're going into a strategy or a tactic, and when you guys get the red card, it's like, bang, you've got to change that up pretty quickly. And to be honest, I don't expect our guys to get blues, let alone reds. That's just not, just not something that, sits well with me.
I understand. So, Steve, it sounds like we're highlighting areas of discipline here.
It's something that we do talk a lot about in our team meetings. It's on the agenda every team meeting. That we need to play by the rules. We need to follow what our instructions, and we need to do what is the right thing. And unfortunately, when the passion comes in and the desire comes in and the stress comes in and the pressure, some players, they react, right? And they react in a negative way, and that's something that it's worrying me right now. We've got to really consider how we fix this for the next 2 games. Bevan is likely to be out for the next 2 games. The rules are that a red card, World Championships, automatically 2 games. So that's we've got to get that confirmed, but that's likely to happen. For the longer term, our next step is World Roller Games 2019, and we have qualifications for that next year. That's huge for us. That's a massive, event that we want to be at. And I'm going to, have to take that really seriously and consider, making sure we've got the right players that toe the line, to be honest, and really do what they need to do.
Yeah, I hear you. So discipline is number one over talent, I'd imagine, is the message you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have a cohesive team. Doesn't come from just talent. It comes from what you do on the floor, what you do off the floor, what your dedication is. Are you training? Are you not training? All the way through to how you respect your opponents. All right. I'm continually telling our teams, that might be from the juniors through the kids to the girls that I coach, is that respect is number one. You respect the sport, respect your opponents. And I'm not saying that we have a problem. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that if we don't continue to make that a major priority, it'll get away from us, and that's not good.
Yeah. Steve, just an interesting change on the goalies there. It was nice to see Lee out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's today was extremely humid and hot here in Nanjing. I got up this morning and thought it's just absolutely just that 100% sort of humidity, and the sun was out. And so, that's sort of been looking at, Rhys, and we've been working with him. He's played 2 really big games and long games. Now, he's played really well and still think that he's, fresh. But at the World Championships, you've got to be thinking 5 games. You've got to get the team through that. Lee's been jumping out of his skin and has been ready to really, want to, get in the cage. And, for the first half, I thought he did really well. We got a shot in. They got a shot in early. And, we got that goal against us. But overall, I thought Lee performed really, really well. Once we got into the second half and we're a couple of goals down, I really gave the team some, instruction to really push. We needed to go get this game. We need to get back on the score sheet. And we got really close, we sort of got to 3-2.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I knew I was going to put Lee at risk of getting, some more one-on-ones. And I just needed to have some fresh hands in there. And Rhys was there ready to go. So he was able to top up the last 15 minutes to, enable, Lee to have the break that he actually needed. So, that's why we went with that change.
3-0 down. What happened next, Steve?
Okay, yeah, well, so, we're 3-0 down and we sort of had to go for it. So we got our first goal and then we sort of got our second goal and the guys were just pushing so hard. They're running up and down the floor and it was, I really felt like we're going to get back to this 3-3. And then, once the 3-3 would be, just a couple of minutes to go and we started really to work that way. What happened is that, we started to really drive the cage probably for the last 10, 15 minutes and grind it through. But got a situation, we actually thought that we got a goal. We thought we'd tied it up at 3-3. So it went in, all the players are jumping up and down. The referee signalled to the middle of the floor. We actually thought, it was on us, we actually thought it was a goal. So we're, celebrating, but in actual fact saying, no, it's the direction of, of Japan. They took the ball, like the one-on-one against the keeper, But sort of, we suffered that. So, just another lesson to be learned, right?
And psychologically, that must have just been the push,
Yeah,
it
was. Yeah, 4-2. We didn't have much time left, But overall, as I said, the first half was the half of many parts. The second half was about desire and endeavour. And I can tell you, Max Cook's, lying down in his bed covered in ice. He was on the bus on the way home throwing up. He was so exhausted from the effort that he put in to run up and down that floor. Cameron was the same, Jason was the same, Jordy was the same, Lyles was the same, Ash went out there for a sin, had a really good crack at it. So the boys are just absolutely exhausted, it's a shame that we got in that situation that they had to play like that. But there's a level of, there's a big part of me that's extremely proud, I'm just a bit sad for them to work so hard for it and we just didn't get the result that I believe that we could have. It is what it is, and now we're in a situation where if we win our next 2 games, we've got a chance of finishing in a medal place, still in the top 3, and that's our objective, that's our goal, from now. So we've got to regroup, we've got to focus. We've got a day off tomorrow, we've got a rest day, so that'll be handy. We need that, and then we go into New Zealand, and we know the love-hate relationship between New Zealand, and we want to ensure that we still keep that title of the Australian-New Zealand rivalry, and Australia has had some success against that team recently.
Oh yes,
but I also know that team very well, that they will throw everything at this game, over everything. We're good friends and good mates with the country, but geez, it will be full on.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that game. Jordy, how is Jordy?
Yeah, Jordy, he, late night last night, he sort of got in about 1 o'clock in the morning. Been ferried around to a couple of different hospitals, to check him out. But this morning he woke up, hungry as always, ate the buffet, probably cleaned that out. But had a pretty relaxing day, and he was good, Again, we had to monitor him a little bit this afternoon during the game. But he was good. Yeah, he came good. He sort of started off a little bit, a bit cautious about how he was going to go about it. But then he just seemed to get better and better as the game went on, actually. So, no, he's in good fine form, and he's in good spirits, and he's safe. So that's the priority.
And Lindsay's still in sick bay, or is he now back
No,
on?
no, Lindsay's back and he's been good. And, unfortunately he hasn't been on the floor the last 2 games. It's just been at that intensity, that I've just sort of, made a decision. Well, I just don't want to throw him in the heat of the moment in those situations. He's new into the team. And, and I'm expecting, as long as he's working hard, doing all the right things, he's there for the long term. So it's about giving him these moments and getting him to really understand where he needs to be. I want to set him up for success. What I don't want to do is throw him in a situation where, geez, we're losing games and he's got to go get it and he's got to do this, without understanding how to make that happen. So he understands his role in the team. He's still got another couple of games which I think are going to really suit him. I think the New Zealand game, the Chinese Taipei game are going to really suit him. And, that's what he's there for, is to, take on those teams that he's able to bring his sort of game to. And that's, and that's about to come up for him. So he knows where he's at. We've had a really good chat about that. And, I think he's going to have a couple of good games.
Good. Well, it still sounds like we've got a lot of opportunity ahead of us to pull through with your objectives of that medal.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. New Zealand, Chinese Taipei, 2 teams. Chinese Taipei, surprisingly, even to me when I come here, they, obviously it's more their home turf here, right? So they've actually got all of their best players. Sometimes they travel with not their best players, so they're actually performing quite well, So we really got to make sure we're careful of those guys. But the upside for us is that if we can get the 2 games, get the points, we walk away from the World Championships. And I don't want to be saying how it's going to end. I don't want to put, the cart before the horse. But going away with, only lost 1 game in the World Championships out of 5 is, a great step forward. To be honest, that's what we have to go for. And I think we can achieve that. So we just need to do it, all right? It'd be a great step forward for the country, great, for the sport.
Excellent. Well, as always, Steve, we're wishing you well and have a good rest day. And, let's have you all ready for New Zealand, man.
It is, mate. Thanks, mate. And, all the messages we're getting from back home is just absolutely awesome. We're loving it. It's making a big difference for us. Thanks, bro. Really appreciate it.
No worries. All right, Steve.